Sri Lanka army officers inspect weapons captured from Tamil Tiger rebels. In what's believed to be the final moves on hostilities, which have lasted 25 years, 420 separatist rebels were killed in the past days, and many have been confined to a no-fire region. 3 separate military units were used in a triangular formation to attack the rebels during the 3-day battle. This now means the remaining rebel-held area is less than 20 square kilometres of coconut groves on the Indian Ocean island's northeast coast. The United Nations has said the Tigers have kept more than 100,000 civilians as human shields. The Tigers cannot be reached for immediate comment. They've been fighting for self-rule in the north and east of Sri Lanka. 60,000 people have been killed in violence associated with the civil war since the 1980s. Penny Tweedy, Reuters.
They had camped out all night, whole families sleeping on the normally congested Westminster Bridge. But this morning, police decided the roads would reopen. Some scuffles ensued as the protesters were physically carried away. 4 arrests were made and several needed medical attention. They're angry that thousands of civilians have been caught up in fighting between the Sri Lankan military and the rebel Tamil Tigers who want independence. The protesters want a ceasefire and they want Britain to help them to get it. Many at today's demonstration have lost relatives during the conflict.
So our people are frustrated. They can't take any more. The death and suffering of our own society. Even we are not live there anymore. Our country people, our friends and families, when they die, we can't take anymore.
Police say this is an illegal protest because demonstrators didn't apply for permission. To prevent them from getting back onto the roads, they were boxed into Parliament Square.
We weren't given that notice, and that's made it slightly more difficult for us. And it's also a concern to me, it draws police resources from other parts of London.
Throughout the day, the number of protesters has grown to more than 2,000 people, peacefully filling the green opposite the Houses of Parliament. And as you can see, directly in front of them is a ring of police officers, making sure they don't go anywhere else and that the protest remains peaceful. MPs, including Lib Dem Simon Hughes and Labour's Siobhan McDonough, accompanied the leader of the British Tamil Forum to Downing Street. There they handed in a letter asking that Britain act to ensure a ceasefire is not only called for, but implemented. Jane Dougal, Sky News.
Hundreds of Tamils living in Britain launched a second day of protests outside Parliament in London over Sri Lanka's military onslaught against separatist Tamil Tiger rebels.
We want freedom!
Scuffles broke out after the demonstrators were forced to leave a nearby bridge they were blockading. Earlier, police moved in to shift some of them from the normally busy road. At the height of the protest, which began on Monday, an estimated 3,000 packed the route. Protest organisers are calling for an end to the Sri Lankan offensive.
Especially in the safe zone, there are loads of people dying. Even my uncle died, my dad's brother, and it was in through a shell attack close to the hospital.
We want the British government to stop giving arms or any form of aid to the Sri Lankan government.
The Tamil Tiger rebels have been driven back to a tiny patch of coastal area in the northeast. Sri Lanka's military says they're now trapped inside a mere 17 square kilometres of coconut groves. The United Nations says tens of thousands of civilians are being held as human shields. It's urging government forces to protect them during their final offensive intended to crush the rebels after 25 years of conflict. Paul Chapman, Reuters.